Hi. Welcome back. I have a Halloween shirt, but you can't see it very well because I didn't plan that out very well. So, I'm orange.
It's just Minnie and Mickey without skin.
Yeah. Let's see.
Or muscles.
Can I make this work at all?
Yes.
Yay! There you go.
Are there ribs stained pink from all the blood?
I never thought about that.
Yes. Probably supposed to be heart-shaped also.
Today was going to just be Romero movies for our night, but along with watching Dawn of the Dead yesterday, we watched Return of the Living Dead.
Hooray.
So instead, I will just label this Zombie Night. Because, I don't know, is there more zombies on here? No, that needs to get changed though. No zombies. So, Zombie Night.
Woo.
So, we'll start with the beginning. That would be Night of the Living Dead.
Yes.
And
1968, black and white.
he knows more about that than me, because I don't.
A lot of fun facts, like it was originally called Night of the Flesh Eaters, and they found out that was already taken, so they changed the title card at the last minute and didn't trademark it, so it entered the public domain immediately, and they weren't able to cash in on anything involving merchandising or good sequel rights, or to even prevent people from making a dozen or so of their own Night of the Living Dead movies. So good job there. However, first zombie apocalypse movie that got that ball rolling, since before this, zombies were normally supernatural voodoo stuff. And greatly inspired by I Am Legend, where vampires take over the earth.
And then, so that was the old one.
Yep. Had the cool black guy in the lead. Back when it's like, oh, you can't let minorities be lead roles in movies. It's the 60s. Everyone is super racist.
Which is probably why he died. Spoiler.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, the studio wanted him to have him live and have a happy ending. But he was like, no, this is more realistic because I'm hammering home a social message that rednecks are dicks and no one wants the black man to succeed. And the white lady, who we think is supposed to be the main character, spends most of the movie being catatonic on a couch, watching other people get in trouble, and not helping them at all.
which is totally what the average person would do.
Oh, yes.
Totally.
And I like that movie. It's definitely an art piece. As in, it's not super watchable today.
No, I don't think it is.
Has a couple jump scares. Dawn of the Dead is way more amazing, despite the blue pancake makeup. It's a very enjoyable movie. And who doesn't want to envision themselves running off to the mall or some other mega center and setting themselves up in a big mansion with all the consumer goods they could get?
Except malls are big and hollow.
Yeah. And when there's 3 or 4 people sharing it, it feels kind of lonely, and you're exiled from the rest of the human race.
Yeah. It's like, I like Dawn of the Dead better. Especially better than the original.
Yes, I think it's definitely the best movie Romero has ever done.
And then,
Day of the Dead.
like, you're not going to talk about the Night of the Living Dead remake?
I figure we'd, work our way back to them.
Oh, okay. Day of the Dead.
And Day of the Dead is thought by a lot of people to be the high mark in the Romero franchise, but I actually enjoy Night and Dawn and Land a lot more than Day, because I feel like Day just kind of rehashes the whole humanity is hopeless, hey, these zombies can learn things, and it does have some pretty impressive gore effects.
I get
It's like,
confused about which one's which.
Day is when they're living underground in a bunker
Oh, okay.
with the military.
Yes, I don't like that one.
It's like none of the characters are especially likable, and everyone's an asshole.
That's just real life.
Yes, then you got Land of the Dead, which is where you find out where the biker gang from Dawn of the Dead comes from, which is Dennis Hopper living in an ivory tower, being the rich white man in charge, making everyone else do everything for him, scramble the world looking for luxury items.
Which is kind of what would actually happen. I think The Walking Dead comic and show got that right with Negan, with the whole
Yeah.
someone's going to take power
It's
and
like Negan
use
or
it.
the governor.
Yes. Like, there will always be someone who will take power.
And it's like, Land of the Dead's enjoyable. It's still not quite as good as Dawn, because Dawn's amazing.
Can you tell he likes it?
Yeah, but Land does have John Leguizamo in it, so that's pretty cool.
Quill.
Queel.
Okay. And then there are other ones that I've never even seen.
Yeah, I think you've seen a little bit of Diary of the Dead. It was one of those found footage type movies where someone's running around with a webcam type of thing. It's not so great, and then there's one or two more after that Romero made before he died, and I never watched those because they just really sounded lame. Mostly farmers fighting over land like Hatfields and McCoys, and also there's zombies there.
I see.
Okay, and come back around. Night of the Living Dead, the remake, directed by Ted Savini, the Machete Man from Dawn of the Dead and Machete Zombie from Land of the Dead, and did most of the creature effects for the movies, except for Night of the Living Dead, the original. And that one stars Tony Todd of Candyman fame, and Kern from Star Trek, Worf's brother. Also the creepy Grim Reaper, mortician guy from Final Destination.
Okay. Yes, you've now given
Anywho.
Tony Todd's whole career.
Yes. Night of the Living Dead is very enjoyable. All the special effects are, of course, updated, being like 20-something years later.
And the girl's not catatonic all the time.
Yes, Barbara kicks some ass.
I think she's, like, out of it for 5 or so minutes.
Yes. Quickly recovers, beats some zombies to death with a fire poker, is the take charge woman in the house with the gun. So her and Tony Todd's character play off of each other a lot. And then you have Cooper, who is not quite as big a racist in the basement, still a complete asshole.
He's more of an elitist.
Yes. But I think it's a fun movie, but it's definitely not as terrifying as most horror movies are today. It's still the slow zombies.
I like slow zombies. They make me happy.
Yes. And there's Dawn of the Dead, the remake done by Zack Snyder with the running zombies, inspired by 28 Days Later. And
Well, he also said that would just be too comical if they shuffled.
yeah, but I think it's a great movie. There's a few scenes that are a bit disturbing and gory, but still mostly fun. And these people trapped in a new mall, they don't get homey at all. All they can think about is escaping the city because they're tired of the tide of zombies outside.
Which just makes me sad because the mall that was in the new Dawn of the Dead was much more built to be a home, unlike the first one.
Yeah, because they had like bed stores and electronic stores and just everything you could need to entertain yourself, and the group was much, much larger in the remake.
So they could have made an established base, but they chose not to for some reason.
They were like, no, let's get the hell out of here. Let's find an island. That'll be better.
Yeah. All they had to do was somehow rescue Andy, and everything would have been fine. But they fucked that up.
Yeah. And then coming around again to the lack of a trademark on the original Night of the Living Dead, Return of the Living Dead. And that one was made after Dawn and right around the same time as Day of the Dead, and did much better in theaters. And these zombies in Return of the Living Dead are very intelligent. They're the ones that want to eat everyone's brains.
To say they're very intelligent negates the fact that they don't lose any intelligence in death.
Yes. And they're also unkillable.
Which
Not invincible, because you can still chop them up and light them on fire, but
they still have gnashy teeth.
yes, and everything still flops around. Headshots don't work. They definitely violate that tenet of almost every zombie franchise ever.
And then this created the legacy of zombies needing to eat brains.
And it is a lot more comedic than the Romero movies and other zombie movies that come out.
And there's nudity.
Yes, there's lots of a naked punk girl dancing in a graveyard.
And running around. And then being dead.
Yes, and this movie also goes off the premise of Night of the Living Dead was a movie that happened in the universe, so people know about zombies, and they're like, hey, I've got some of those zombies from Night of the Living Dead in my basement. You should check it out. and they accidentally break a seal, and all hell breaks loose.
Yes, because they work at a warehouse that deals with like medical specimens and such to give to schools, and the one guy was explaining the weirdest thing that ever came in, and he said that the movie Night of the Living Dead was based off of this incident, but everything had to be changed, otherwise the government would, shut him down. So that's why they're like, hit it in the head, and then it didn't work, and they freaked out and tried to cremate it, and it didn't go well.
And then this movie is a great movie that's pretty fun, and then there's somewhere between 5 and 7 sequels nowadays, but they are all awful compared to this one. It's all you really need.
It is fun, though. And it is interesting because they cover what happens when a dead body comes into contact with this chemical and a living body.
Yes.
And they give the zombies a plot, which not many people do. They have the plot of they must eat brains to ease the pain of death.
Yeah, so when all the zombies are walking around, they're all wailing. And the reason why is because they're all in extreme pain because they're dead and it hurts. Because they're decomposing.
There's not too many things out there that want to give a story to the zombies. I know, like, Warm Bodies does poorly, but,
it's a weird one.
Is there any other zombie stuff we should cover? There's The Walking Dead, but that's just too much to get into. People running, fear the living, kill the dead, that stuff.
Had some pretty enjoyable episodes, had some really slow episodes.
Is there any other zombie stuff we like?
Well, there's Shaun of the Dead.
Oh, yeah. Which is...
clearly a riff on Dawn of the Dead.
It's fun, though.
It's in the UK and how a zombie outbreak would go there.
Spoiler. They end the outbreak. But yes, I like Simon Pegg, so...
Yes, it's a hilarious movie. And there's also Zombieland. And that's another comedic take on zombies, but it is especially gory, but
and it
still
has
fun.
Bill Murray.
Yes, has Bill Murray, has Woody Harrelson, has Jesse Eisenberg.
So that one's definitely worth the watch. As far as there's also the anime High School of the Dead.
Man,
I think that's roughly all the big stuff.
it's like the Resident Evil franchise, which we kind of covered earlier.
And they're not quite zombies. Not quite. It's a virus. It's not the same. Whatever. So, is that all you have to say about zombies?
Yes. If you're gonna watch zombie movies, watch Night of the Living Dead for sure. You can watch the remake if you want, which has a stronger cast and better effects, so it's more watchable for a modern person. And both the original and the remake of Dawn of the Dead are amazing movies. Watch those. Land of the Dead's alright, and Return of the Living Dead's pretty good. Then there's a bunch of other movies in between you don't really need. So the internet will destroy me for that if they find this video.
Fire. Okay, I think that's all.
Yeah.
Look, he did most of the talking for once.
Woo. It's almost like I'm obsessed with zombie movies.
Almost.
Almost.
Okay. We'll call that good.
Bye.
Bye.